Hey there, I'm B, and welcome to another One Take Review. If this is your first time joining me, my One Take Reviews are where I give my unedited, unscripted, and unfiltered opinions on games. I hope that these are informative, but also they're just a way for me to share my love and enthusiasm for board gaming with the community. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this review. Today I'm going to be talking about Land vs. Sea. Now, Land vs. Sea is the newest tile layer straight out of Australia. It's Australian designed, Australian illustrated, and Australian published, and I'm really proud, really. If you know me at all, you know that I'm really passionate about the Australian board game industry, and so this Land vs. Sea game was a really big deal for Australians, the Australian board gamers this year, so very proud moment. Land vs. Sea is being called the new Carcassonne. Not that it has a similar game style other than tile laying, but because it fits that market of the light coffee table tile placement game, gateway game, one that you can play with your family, one that you can play with your experienced gamers, one that you can play with your kids. It's ticking all of those boxes, which is great. So in Land vs. Sea, you'll be playing as land or sea. There is also a 3-player version where you can play as a cartographer. Since I haven't actually played it at 3-player, I can't talk about that experience, I'm really sorry. But I have played it at 2-player and 4 players, and it's really a lot of fun at both. So in the 2-player mode, you're playing as either land or sea, and it is a very tight tug of war. The thing I love most about it is that it does change based on who you're playing with. So a game with my husband was very different to a game with my mother, who just quietly is a lot meaner in the way that she plays. She plays very fiercely, which is really interesting because she's not a fierce woman at all. But yeah, when it comes to tile laying games, you better watch out. So so you're playing tiles to try and enclose areas of your specific type. So if you're land, you're enclosing land areas. The fun thing about this is it's a little bit of a twist on what we're taught with tile placement games, which normally favor large areas. This actually favors small areas because they can get out of control incredibly fast. Like, we're talking within 2 moves, you have got 6 different entry points to close off. So you need to be really quick at getting those closed off. All the tiles are double-sided, which is a great addition as well. You always have 2 in your hand unless one's been stolen from you, which we can talk about a bit later. But that means you've basically got 4 tiles to choose from each time, which I think is really great as well. It does give you that sense of control over your game a bit more, and it does make you feel like you can plan ahead a little bit because you can see both sides of your tiles and you've got the 2 in your hand. So yeah, going on to the stealing, there are tiles that allow you to steal other people's tiles, and there are tiles that allow you to play a second tile. There's also sort of not expansions, but they're add-ons to the gameplay that you can add in when you're more comfortable. So you'll be networking caravans and mountains and reefs to get extra points, which is again a great addition for the more experienced players who are looking for slightly more strategy there, which is really cool. The 4-player experience is just wild. Like, again, depending on the game, the group that you're gaming with, it can change as well, but we found it really fun. It was such a social experience because you're sitting kind of across, I think it's across diagonally from the player on your team, so you'll be having 2 on land and 2 on sea, and you've got to try and like secretly tell them or secretly show your plans to them without obviously letting the other team know, because if we know, we're going to try and sabotage it, because points in a 4-player game are really hard to come by, and they all really count. So the 4-player game can get quite fun and sneaky and sabotagey, and yeah, it's just a lot of fun there. I guess for me, what I love most about this game, in an overall sense, is that it can be played by a lot of different players. So you can play this with your kids. I've played it, my 4 and 6-year-old can sit there and they can lay tiles. They might not be great at it and they might not understand all of the strategy, but they can play it and have a good time. You can also play this obviously with family members. You can introduce people to the hobby with this game, and then you can play it with the more advanced gamers for like a light, fun experience, because it does add in those extra scoring methods, and just in general, it is a fun game to play. So for me, Land vs. Sea, being a light coffee table tile laying game, is actually an 8 out of 10. I know a lot of my other reviews have been 10 out of 10s and 9 out of 10s, but keeping in mind that those ones are like really big games, I suppose. I sort of try to balance the game based on, I mean, not on size, on enjoyability certainly, but yeah, so I'm just trying to be a little bit fair here. So for a light coffee table game, an 8 out of 10 for me this is one of my favorites. It's one of my favorites. So 8 out of 10 for Land vs. Sea. Great tile laying game if you're looking for something light, fast, fun, and sneakily crunchy. Thanks for watching today, and I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you next time. Bye.